Thanks for tuning in to the HCS Pro League Report. I'm Strongside, and with me as always is Elamite.
Hey Strongside, glad to see you back here at the caster's desk. I was starting to think Towie wasn't going to give up the spot.
Well, I'm glad to be back, especially after last week's matches. I mean, some of the greatest matches we've seen in Halo so far. These teams are fighting for those top 4 spots so they can make it into the finals, battling every single week. Let's check out the standings and see where these teams are sitting.
The European League saw 2 teams cement their spots in the EU Pro League finals, with U4X and EnVyUs qualifying in the top 2 spots. U4X still remains undefeated, even after unexpected roster change of 2 Foxy for Snakey. On the other end of the spectrum, Pulse Gaming's loss to X-Men on day 1 all but confirmed their spot in relegation, until day 2 when they swept Dinosaurs 3-0 and kept the dream alive. Dinosaurs have now lost 4 series in a row since upsetting X-Men in week 2, and this gives us the rematch you don't want to miss: Dinosaurs versus X-Men.
In North America, we witnessed Team EnVyUs taking CLG to their first Game 5 this season and just barely falling short of beating them in the last few seconds of overtime on Eden Slayer. However, on day 2, Enigma 6 did accomplish what no other team has been able to do by defeating CLG with a convincing 3-1 series. On the lower end of the standings, Optic is back into 7th place and in a relegation spot. Although Team Liquid secured their first win of the season, they need to ride on this momentum to have a chance of escaping last place.
The competition is getting more intense as we move past the mid-season marker, especially for the top teams that are fighting tooth and nail to keep their position and stop from falling to the lower ranks.
And that brings us to our HCS Pro League match of the week: Counterlogic Gaming versus Team EnVyUs. The number 2 ranked Team EnVyUs and the then undefeated CLG faced off last week in an epic showdown that was easily one of the best series we've seen so far in the HCS Pro League. And the anticipation for this week's rematch is palpable. Team EnVyUs has been a powerhouse all season long, with losses only to Enigma 6 and Counterlogic Gaming. Now, with a win against Renegades and beating Evil Geniuses twice, Envy's L-Town, Miquin, Pistola, and Rain have shown up to the Pro League and are ready to defend their spot. Their stellar performance last week may have given them the confidence they need to defeat CLG in the upcoming rematch.
After dominating the Halo World Championship and taking home the $1 million prize at finals, CLG's seemingly unstoppable winning spree has continued until last week's match against Enigma 6. In 4 weeks of league play, CLG has only dropped this 1 series. EnVyUs came close in their first matchup between the 2 teams, but CLG's Snakebite, Royal 2, Frosty, and Lethal are still the favorites to finish at the top of the standings. But after how close the series was last week, this is anyone's game.
Right, you are, and with CLG falling to Enigma 6 last week, it's safe to say that the Halo World Champions are vulnerable. Now, going up against Envy again this week, with how close their match was last week, it's hard to say who is actually going to win this match. But I can definitely say confidently I want to see another Game 5 series, because what we saw last week was probably the best series I've ever seen in Halo 5 to date.
You can watch the rematch between Team EnVyUs and Counterlogic Gaming this Friday. It's our HCS Pro League match of the week. The rest of the Pro League matches begin Thursday on Twitch, Azubu, and Hitbox. EU matches start at 7 p.m. British Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. You can catch the North American League at 5 p.m. Pacific Time on Thursday and Friday.
Be sure to head on over to halo.gg for all the current Pro League standings, news, and schedules. We'll be right back here next Thursday, same place, with more Halo competition for Week 5. Thanks for watching.